All right, welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast, where we don't just talk about self-love, we practice it. I am your host, the goddess Nyomi, and today we are diving into week two. Week two of reclaiming your closet. And last week we talked about the map. We talked about identifying the three types of clothing: the clothes that no longer fit your life, the clothes from old chapters, and the clothes from a version that never arrived. But today we're learning the question, the one question that changes everything. But before I give you the question, I need you to address something real. Because I know that some of y'all are thinking. I know what I was thinking this morning when I sat down to record this. So, let's talk about it. Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi, and I am so glad that you are here. As we continue to transform in life, so does this podcast. In season 5, we're moving differently, more intentional, more action, less learning, more doing, less waiting, and more living. This is a space where we don't just talk about self-love, we practice it. We don't just discuss transformation, we live it. Every episode is an invitation to do the work with me, not just listen to me talk about it. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself intentionally is a foundation of true transformation. So get ready, get your journal, get your pen, because in season 5, we're doing the work together. Now let's get started. Well, all right, my beautiful people. Well, before we dive into the teaching, we're going to ground ourselves with a 60-second guided meditation. Well, today we are connecting. We are connecting to your truth. Not what others thinks, but and not who you should feel, but what you actually are feeling. So wherever you are right now, I want you to close your eyes if you can. Get comfortable and place one hand on your heart. And I want you to take a deep breath in. Now slowly release. And I want you to say quietly to yourself, my feelings about my life are my truth. Inhale. Exhale. I trust what serves me. Inhale. Exhale. I release what others think I should feel. Inhale. Exhale. I honor my internal compass. One more deep breath in. Release. Now say, I am guided by what serves my becoming. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and let's begin. All right, my beautiful people. If you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, it's something we do on every episode just to help ground us before we get into the topic at hand. All right, so let me be real with you all. All right, when I sat down to record this episode this morning, I got about 10 minutes in and I had to stop. I had to stop because something felt so off about the beginning of, it felt off. Something felt so disingenuous about it. And I don't do disingenuous. The script said, this is what it says. This is what I wrote. And I wrote this about a week ago. It said, how does this make you feel? How does this make you feel? That is what was written in the script. Your feelings are your guide. Your feelings are your truth, right? And I stopped because I thought, wait, are they? Are they? Because here's what I know. Here's what I've been taught. Here's what many of you have been taught. Feelings are truth. Feelings are not truth. Feelings are emotions, right? And emotions are where arguments come from. They're where disagreements arise. They are where we get hurt and where we hurt others, right? See, when you feel something in a relationship and you react from that feeling without logic, without discernment, without thinking, that's when damage happens, right? And then when you feel offended, you take it personally and then you defend your position based on that feeling. And what does that do? That destroys connections. So when you feel like someone is attacking you and you respond from that emotions, that's when fights escalate. So I say, how can I stand here and tell you that your feelings are your truth and that you trust your feelings and then let your feelings guide you? That felt like a contradiction. That felt for me, that felt irresponsible for me to say that with no context, with nothing behind that. So I had to stop recording. I had to stop recording because I knew that not only did I know what my truth was of sitting here speaking with you all, but also I knew what the responsibility of me sitting here. And I stopped recording and I had to go to my altar. I went back to my altar this morning. So after I sat here in this very studio, I stopped, went upstairs, lit my altar candles again, and I said a prayer. And I asked God and I asked the universe to guide me. Where do I get a message from? Do I get it from my Bibles? Do I get it from my cards? Where do I get it from? And before I knew it, there were several cards that fell out for me. And those 5 messages, when I read them, I understood what they meant. And I'm going to show you what they said because the altar showed me the distinction of what it was. All right. So here it is. Here's what I was told. Here's what it showed. And I'm going to paraphrase them because it's the essence of each one of them. All right. So for the first one, it says, whatever people do, feel, think, or say, you don't take it personally. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their beliefs. So whatever they think about you is not about you. It's about them. And in card 2, it said, do your best and take actions because you love it, not because you expect a reward. When you take action without expecting a reward, you enjoyed every action. And in card 3, it says to have great faith is to have great power because your intent and your will is undivided. So when your word isn't dissipated by doubt, the power of your word becomes even stronger. And then the 4th card, it says taking things personally makes you prey for predators. They can hook your attention with one little opinion and they can feed you whatever poison they want. So you refuse to eat the poison. And then the last one said, when you believe something that you assume you are right, you may even destroy relationships in order to defend your position. So let go of the need to defend your position. So when I read these cards, I understood the distinction. And we'll talk about the distinctions of who feelings. And here's the truth, y'all. Your feelings about what serves you is yours equals your truth. And other people's feelings about you, their truth about you, the distinction. Does that make sense? So other people's feelings about you, that's not your truth about you. Does that make sense? That's the distinction. So the answer is your feelings about your life. So let me say this. And I want to make sure that I'm not confusing you. So when I decided to do the closet, this month, when I saw that post from Mel Robbins last week, and I'm cleaning out my closet. Like I said, by the end of this month, I'll probably redo my whole closet, have a brand new closet in. But I knew it was deeper than the clothing. And even the message this morning from my altar, it's giving me that. And I'm hoping and praying that I'm able to convey the message and convey exactly what I'm saying, because I'm having brain fog here at this moment, and migraines too. But so I'm hoping that I'm able to really express exactly what it is that I'm trying to get across here with the description of how does it make you feel in your truth. Does that make sense? So when I asked that question earlier, how does the closet item make you feel? And this is the thing, because when I'm saying this in context right now, in the beginning, and this is the thing, this is going to make, in the beginning, in my very first show that I was 10 minutes in, there was a debate that I had between the should and the feel. And in the feel, like I said, we were taught that when you feel is not of truth. Feel is of emotions. And sometimes your emotions are not feeling of truth, right? Of trueness. And I pray to God that you are getting this. And so when I went to the altar today and those messages came across, I said, okay. This is about the 4 agreements. And in detail about the 4 agreements is about understanding of what not to take personal, and what to understand about your truth of who you are, and the difference of when you are in your emotions and your feelings on what you do with your life. Does that make sense? And I'm hoping that I pray to God that you all are following me, So when we say your feelings is about your life, your feelings is about your life. And when we say your closet is about your life, your closet is about your life. So when you ask yourself, how does this closet item make me feel? It's about what that makes you feel, and not what the world wants to make you feel. And I know I'm jumping. So when you ask, does this support my becoming? That means that item of the clothing, that means the item that's going on in your life, in your room, in your closet. Does that support who you are becoming? So that means when you start to take action because you love it, not because you expect a reward from it. Does that make sense? So all of this, so this is your internal compass. This is your truth. This is your guide. So when I'm saying that your feelings are your guides, your feelings are your truth, your feelings is your eternal compass. That is what it means. So those feelings, you have to trust them, you have to honor them, and you have to follow them. And other people's feelings about you, that has nothing to do with you. Someone else's feelings about you, about what you're doing, about who you are. No. When they think that you should keep something that you want to release, that has nothing to do with you. When they have an opinion about your choices, have nothing to do with you. When they feel offended by your boundaries, It has nothing to do with you. That's their feelings, that's their belief, that's their systems, that's them, not you. Those feelings, don't take them personal. Don't eat the poison. Don't defend your position. I promise you, I hope I haven't lost you all. Because in my mind, I know exactly what I'm saying, but I want to make sure that I'm being responsible when I'm saying this. Oh my God, I promise you, I hope I'm being responsible when I'm saying this. So I want to break this down. I want to break this down clearly with it and why I'm saying this. And I want to make sure that I am so saying this correctly, because as I mentioned before, I stopped 10 minutes in with the old version. And I said, I cannot say this because I want to make sure that I am speaking this correctly so people can understand. Because I want to make sure that everyone honors their truth. That everyone honors their truth. And in their truth and their feelings, especially when they're when they are healing and they are becoming, and they are becoming themselves, their newness or the oneness or whatever you want to call it, they have to honor that. And we're already healing from what others think of us or what they already put on us or what masks that we've already taken off. And I guess going into this, I really didn't really understand. Wow. I'm sitting right here in real time right now just thinking about this. Wow. You know why? It's because really when we're sitting, let's go in the closet. Just do this for me right fast. Let's go in the closet right now. And I know y'all like, Nyomi, what are we doing? We're going to go in the closet right now. We're going to go into our imaginary closet right now. And we're going to sit down right now. And we're going to go in here and we're going to sit about our feelings of our truth. We're going to sit there about the feelings of our truth. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to decide what serves our life. So the first thing is deciding what serves your life. So we're going to decide what serves our life. So I want you to sit and imagine around in your closet, in your life. Does the items support you, who you are now? Does the items in your closet, in your life, support you now? Does the relationship align with your values right now in your life? Does the job feel right for your purpose in your life right now? And does the choice honor who you're becoming in your life right now? So as we're sitting there and we're looking at the items that's in our hands, and I know for real, Nyomi, we're talking about clothing. Yes, we're talking about clothing. Remember last week I told you that my mom has a closet full of clothes. Remember I told you about the coats that I've had for over 15 years. And I didn't tell you I had like a shirt that I had for over 20 years. When you hold on to things for so long, you don't realize how stuck that it has you. It truly have you stuck. And you just think, well, no, it's just in my closet all the way in the back. But it starts off as one piece of clothing, then 5, then 6, then a pile. that energetically it goes into everything in your life. Then you start to hold on to different things. And then you are afraid to move forward. Because now you don't know what's the line or where do I go? So that's why we're cleaning out the closet. That is why we're cleaning out our closet. That is why this week we're asking, how does this item make me feel? That is why I had to stop 10 minutes in and I had to address that word, feel. And give the distinct feeling of understanding what your truth in that feeling means for you and not for anyone else. So now what I'm doing is I'm breaking it down. So as next is about taking action from love and not expectations. So now we're sitting in the closet. And we're looking at that item and we're saying, does this choice honor the choice of that clothing? Does it honor my becoming? Is it aligned with the values that I have right now? Does it support me? Is it a part of my purpose? But now it's about taking the actions from love and not from expectations. So am I doing this? Am I cleaning my closet? Am I holding on to this piece because I love it? And I guess I can ask my question about this so you can. Nyomi, are you doing this podcast because you love it? Yes, I do this podcast because I love it. Am I choosing to do this podcast because it feels aligned? Yes, I'm choosing to do this podcast because I'm aligned. Am I holding on to this piece of clothing or this pair of shoes or this coat or this item, whatever it is that you hold it on to? Am I choosing this because it's a line of who I am right now? And am I releasing this because it doesn't serve me anymore? Am I getting rid of this because it no longer serves me? Remember, we're still in a closet. We're still sitting there with the items of clothing. And we're still breaking it down. The next one, you're honoring your internal compass. So now it's like, what is your gut saying? What is my gut saying? Is my gut saying no? Is my body feeling heavy when I think about this? When I started doing the podcast early this morning, when I started recording, my body felt so heavy. I felt so sick, literally. I was like, this do not feel right. I said, this does not feel right. I feel right now, but before I didn't. Because I knew that there was mass confusion for me even speaking it. I'm like, oh my God, I hope that they're able to hear what I'm saying because this doesn't even feel right to me. And I wrote it. And I know we are emotional creatures. We are emotional beings. And I can easily say, don't take things personally. But if we don't show, teach, help guide you to understand what that means or even how to use those, then you will continue to take things personally. That you wouldn't even know how to manage your emotions or how you feel. So it's like when I come back now and do this time around, my heart feels light. So when we're sitting in that closet and we're looking at that article of clothing or those pair of shoes or that coat or whatever, does your heart feel light? Can it imagine that path? Can you see it? Is your spirit saying yes? And I don't want y'all to hear me clear. It's not just about the closet. This is about life. And I hope that you hear this. My prayer is that you hear this. So when I'm speaking in these situations, your feelings are your truth. Your feelings are your truth, and trust them. So Nyomi, let's be responsible. Let's be responsible. Let's talk about feelings when feelings are not the truth. When feelings are not the truth. Feelings are not the truth when you are reacting to what someone else thinks, feels, or says that upsets you. They're upset with me and they're taking it personal. And when they think that I'm wrong, I'm defending my position emotionally, or they think they don't like my choice. And then I'm feeling attacked and reacting. That's when feelings are not truth. That's their emotions on what I feel or what I do. That's not my truth. Does that make sense? So you're reacting to what someone else thinks, feels, or says because they're upset with me. So they take it personal. Does that make sense? Or you're operating from emotions in a conflict. I feel offended, so they must be attacking me. Or I feel hurt, so I'm going to hurt them back. Or I feel right, so I'm going to prove they're wrong. Or you're assuming your feeling is the objective reality. Like I feel like I don't care, so they don't care. Not necessarily true, right? Or I feel rejected, so I am rejected. Again, not necessarily true. Or I feel like a failure, so I am a failure. Again, not true. So in these situations, these are where feelings can mislead. And this is where you have to have the logic, the discernment. And this is where boundaries are needed. And I know some of you ask them, well, Nyomi, you didn't have to, but sometimes you do. I want to make sure that I am being very clear and very responsible when I am speaking on my platform. because I do want you to know how important your feelings and your emotions are, especially when you are choosing something in your life, or how it makes you feel about your inner compass. And sometimes we have to be reminded on what's the difference. So now that we have the distinction, and my prayer is that we do, here's the one question. How does this make me feel? Not how do other people think I should feel about this? Not what does society say I should keep? Or not what does logic say makes sense? But how does this make me feel? Does it support who I am now and who I'm becoming? Does it? Well, as I mentioned before, Mel Robbins, she posted about closets, and it said something that stopped me. And she was talking with her closet organizer, Erin Walsh. And Erin said the question isn't, should I keep this? The question is, how does this make me feel? That was the question. How does this make me feel? And Mel explained it like this. She said, most of us stand in front of our closet asking, should I keep this? Should I keep this? Is this practical? Did I spend the money on this? Because I did spend the money on this. Might I need this someday? We talked about this last week, right? See, we're asking the logical questions, the practical questions, the should questions, right? But should isn't your truth. Should, SHOULD, isn't your truth. Should is what other people expect. Should is what society tells you. Should is what makes logical sense, or what you think you're supposed to do. And what should does is should keeps you disconnected from what actually serves you. But when you ask, how does this make me feel? You're asking about your experience, your body's response, your heart's truth, your internal compass. That's what you're asking. And here's what Mel said that really hit me. If a piece makes you feel small, ashamed, or disconnected from yourself, it does not belong in your future. And I want to read that again. If a piece makes you feel small, ashamed, or disconnected from yourself, it does not belong in your future. That's not about logic. That's not about a should. That's about a feeling. And that feeling, that's your truth. That's your truth about what serves you. And that is why I needed to stop. That's why I had to stop. And I had to explain. That's why I had to stop and had to come back to explain that. Truth, feel, emotions. So now let's talk about the difference between should versus feel. And I want to give you some examples. Because should is thinking, right? Like I should keep this because I spent money on it, or I should wear this because it's practical, or I should hold on to this because someone might judge me if I don't. Should is rooted in what? External expectations, right? Or other people's opinions, right? Or societal rules, right? But also what it does, logic divorced from your lived experience. That's what it does. And what field thinking does. What it does is this makes me feel beautiful and confident. So I'm going to keep it. Because that feel beautiful and confident, that's my truth. This makes me feel small and uncomfortable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to release it. This makes me feel like myself. So I'm going to keep it. This makes me feel like I'm pretending. So I'm going to release it. So with that feel, that's rooted in what? In my internal compass, in my body's wisdom, in my heart's truth, in my alignment or who I am becoming. So when you use feel in that and it's rooted in that, it is rooted in your internal compass, in your body's wisdom, in your heart's truth, in your alignment of who you're becoming. So then your body knows. Then your body knows what serves you. So when you put on something that supports who you are now, then your body relaxes. Then your shoulder drops. Then you breathe easier. Then you stand taller. And then you feel like yourself. So when you put on something that doesn't serve you, what your body do? Your body tenses. You pull at the fabric. You avoid the mirrors. You feel uncomfortable. You feel like you're performing. So what your body doing? Your body is giving you feedback. And that feedback is your truth about what serves your life. And that's not the same as taking someone else's feelings personally. That's not the same as reacting emotionally in conflict. That is your internal guidance system telling you what aligns with your becoming or who you are or what your truth is. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So this week, when you are going through your closet, here's what I would love for you to do. For step one, I want you to pick up each item. And I want you to put it on or hold it up to yourself if you can't fit it. And step three, I want you to ask, how does this make me feel? Not should I keep this? Not how does this make me feel? But I want you to notice your body's response. Does your body relax or does it tense? Does your body feel expansive or does it feel contracted? Or do you feel like yourself or do you feel like you're performing? Do you feel confident or do you feel uncomfortable? And then in the last step, I want you to honor that feeling as your truth. Honor that feeling as your truth. And if it makes you feel good, grounded and confident like yourself, keep it. And if it makes you feel small, ashamed and uncomfortable, disconnected, release it. That feeling, that is your truth about what serves your life. All right, so here's the 5 reflection questions for the week. All right. Question one, what am I keeping because I should instead of because it actually feels good? I want you to look at your closet. What are you holding on to because of should? Should because I spent the money, should because it's practical, should because someone gave it to me, or should because I might need it someday. Question 2, what makes me feel small, ashamed, or disconnected from myself? And I want you to be honest. What items make you feel bad when you put them on? Question 3, what makes me feel confident, grounded, and like myself? What do you put on and immediately feel, yeah, oh, that's me, that's her, oh, that's him? And question 4, how do I feel when I open my closet every morning? Do I feel overwhelmed? Do I feel excited? Do I feel stressed? Do I feel supported? What's your overall feeling that matters? And then question 5, if I only kept clothes that made me feel good, what would I release? And I want you to imagine that. A closet where everything makes you feel confident, grounded, yourself. What would have to go? What would go? What we got go? What would go? All right? So here's the bottom line, my beautiful people. Your feelings is about what serves your life, your truth. And I want you to trust them. Other people's feelings about what you do is not truth about you. So don't take them personally. So when you're in your closet asking, how does this make me feel? That's your internal compass. That's your guidance. That's your truth about what supports your becoming. And I want you to honor that. I want you to follow that. I want you to trust that. But when someone else has feelings about your choices, when they think that you should keep something that you want to release, or when they have an opinions about your closet, your life, your transformation, I want you to remember this. That's about them. That's their belief system. That's their expectation, not your truth. So don't eat the poison. Don't take it personally. And don't defend your position. Just honor your truth and keep moving. All right, my beautiful people. So my feelings about my life, I want you to repeat after me for these closing affirmations, all right? All right? My feelings about my life are truth, are my truth. I trust what serves me, and I release what doesn't. I honor my body's wisdom. I follow my internal compass. I let go of the should, and I embrace feel. I am aligned with my becoming, and I am reclaimed, and I am unashamed, and I am ready. Beautiful. All right, my beautiful people. So for Action Wednesday is the feeling audit, and we're going through your closet piece by piece, and we're doing a feeling check on each item. So I want y'all to bring your journals, bring your honesty, and let's do the work. So until then, this is your girlie goddess, Nyomi Banks, reminding you that your feelings about your life are your truth. So I want you to trust them. Trust them. And I pray that you followed me all the way through this. I do, because I definitely had to stop 10 minutes in and come back and redo it all over again. So I want y'all to be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Love yourself first so you can love others well. And remember to watch us on YouTube. The Season of Self-Love is now on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel for videos, episodes, behind the scenes content, and more. Visit YouTube at The Season of Self-Love. Find us in the link on Instagram in the bio. Have an amazing day. Have a good one.
The Season of Self-Love is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Don't just listen. Do the work. Transform your life. For more, Visit AskNaomi.com or follow us on Instagram at the Season of Self-Love Podcast.